Hello everyone, welcome back to Tactical Odyssey. Today we're talking about a 25-pound recon pack loadout. So let's go ahead and get started in the pack. So I'm going to show you what I got. So this pack is the Crossfire CF3. It is I believe it's a 55 liter to a 75 liter pack. That's only going to be possible due to like these pouches right here. That's going to add the extra liter, so it's about a 55 liter pack without them. I stripped them all down because I do not like stuff on the outside of my pack. Besides, as you can see, this accordion style sleeping mat and a water source. So let's go ahead and start on the outside of the pack. This is a Thermarest Z line. You know, pretty cheap. It's way better than sleeping on or laying on rocks and dirt and stuff like that. It's actually not too bad. I've tried it out a little bit. This right here is just an Nalgene bottle. If I can get this thing out. It's an Nalgene bottle. It's nothing special about it, 32 ounces. And it has, I believe it's a Source Tactical Hydration hose thing that connects to, they have connections for regular bottles, the Nalgene, as you can see, so that way I don't have to reach back behind my pack to bring out the bottle. I can just reroute the hose and then drink from the hose. I also have right here a little cozy thing for the Nalgene. These are pretty cheap, so that way it keeps water cool, doesn't get hot. I'm in Texas, so you get that Texas heat. Not too fun. Alright, so that's all on the outside of the pack. I like to keep it slick so that way it doesn't get caught on stuff, and that way it doesn't mess with my silhouette, making it larger or anything like that. So let me go ahead and put this thing down real quick, and then I'll start from the lid and then start pulling stuff out. This lid is detachable, which is pretty sweet, as you can see. Entire lid detachable. So let's see what I got in here. Before I get into this pack, I have run the Alice pack. I run the military rucksack. This is based off the military rucksack, but it is so much better. The ruggedness is unbelievable. The adjustments is unbelievable. It did take me a minute to adjust. I think it's the yoke that goes on the straps because it kept hitting the back of my neck here. But after that, it is the most comfortable rucksack I've had. The rucksack itself, without any pouches or anything like that, is about 8.5 pounds, which a little on the heavy side. So this 25-pound pack, if you run a lighter rucksack or backpack, you can actually get it down probably to like 22 pounds, 23 pounds, something like that. Easy. All right, so top pouch right here. There is 3 pouches on this thing, and you can get to most of the pouches from one of the other pockets inside. So the top one, right here, I have a light source. Always have a light source with where you can get a red lens on it. This one does. It's like the old school angled flashlight, but it's a lot smaller, more compact, as you can see, and little light source. I don't know if you can see that. Has a little lamp or a little lens that you can flip over, so that way it's always red. Or it's white light, whatever you prefer. I also got a headlamp in here, same thing. So this light right here is called the Streamlight Boot. Pretty rugged, pretty bare bones, pretty cheap too. This one is the Princeton Tech. I can't remember the exact model, but they used to make this exact one, what was it, like 10 years ago, and they just recently started making it about a year ago again. And they stopped production, they started doing it again. Same thing, white light, red lens, simple, easy. Takes all my stuff takes batteries, so that way if it does go dead in the field, I can literally just swap batteries, and I have a battery pack in here, which I'll get to in a second. Alright, so also got butt wipes. If you're out there, this is about a 3-day pack. People got shit, simple as that. And after about 2 days, you start getting real itchy, real grimy, real nasty smelling. So I mean, this is a 14 pack. This will easily last me 3 days. Simple. All right, last thing in this top pocket, it looks like. Yeah. This, pretty cheap. I think it was like $10 on Amazon. It is a waterproof small little backpack that collapses down into this little, what is it, like 6x4 pouch. In case for something, SSE, stuff like that, I can easily throw that on my bag or on my back, and then it can actually hold quite a bit. It's actually a decently sized little backpack right there. Put this down, put this stuff down here too. All right, that's it for the top. So the top, can't really see, but it has two, let's see, little organizer, little nylon organizer things in there, but you can't get to any other pockets with it. All right, so then you got one pocket down here. I'll unzip. All right, so what I got in here, sniper veal. So you can run this around your neck. I'm in the Texas heat, so you know, lots of sun. Run around your neck like a shemagh, pretty much. That's why I like it. It's not as dense as a shemagh. It's gonna be about the same weight, but it's gonna be real easy to break up your silhouette. You gotta throw it on top. You know, you don't have just a round head stick, you know, stuff like that. And then you can throw it like over your rifle with you under your rifle and break up that whole silhouette, so it's not just long objects, round, because you know that stuff's not natural. All right, there's my battery pack. So in here, I got several AA, AAA batteries, whatever those lights take, weapon optics, because I got the ACOG TAO2, I believe it's called. It takes a AA battery, simple. Got some charging cables, and this little battery pack is pretty awesome. This is the Nest Out 15,000 milliamp battery. So this thing is completely shockproof and waterproof, of course, to a certain rating, but it charges, I think I've been able to charge my phone on it like 4 or 5 times easily. Has USB, 2 USBs actually, and a C port, so that way you can charge if something takes a C cord, also it charges by a C cord as well. Super easy. Has a little button, can tell you what your battery percentage is. It goes from increments of 20 all the way to 100. Yep. And they have cool little attachments, so you can actually put this on like a little mini tripod or something like that, and then they have a lamp attachment that actually will attach to the top of one of these USB ports, and that way you can have like a little lamp thing in your camp or something like that. It's actually really neat. Put this away. And O-rings around these tops, so that way no water leakage whatsoever can get in. All right, one thing I am probably going to size down is a full VS17 panel, signaling, stuff like that. Nothing special, just a military VS17 panel. And that's it. So this pocket can also get into, actually, wait, hold on. Oh, I didn't realize this was in here. It has a little sunglass pocket on top. Never even realized that or knew about it. So this is the main pocket for inside the pack right here. Right here I just have the repair kit, extra buckles, patches, you know, all that good stuff. String, or not string, but elastic cord. And what's cool about it is that from this pocket, you can also get into it from here. So if you don't want to open up your flap or anything like that, you can literally just get in through there. So super sweet. Put this stuff down. And again, this is everything in my rucksack. That's not going to be on my kit or anything like that. Okay? Completely separate. All right, let's open this up. And let me pull it up here actually so you can see. So this pack is pretty sweet. So they don't do traditional molly. They have their lat system, I forget what it is. It's the little toggles that weave in, and they're pretty freaking solid. No complaints. 2 straps across, 2 straps vertical, and it zips all the way, almost all the way completely down. So you can just open up as a little Velcro all the way down. So you can open this entire thing. Also, the drawstring, it isn't a normal little bungee thing that you pinch. It is 2 pieces of plastic that work really well. So all you do is pull up on this little thing, and boom, you tighten it, stays in place, doesn't go anywhere, it's not moving at all. And that is basically, I wouldn't say unbreakable, but pretty damn close. All right. So right here, real quick, just in a little Ziploc, pair of socks, pair of underwear, and an extra moisture wicking shirt. Only one pair of socks, one pair of underwear, one shirt, because, you know, 2-3 days, you're not going to need much. But after about day 2, if you have experience of being out there sweating all that nasty stuff, especially in Texas heat, you're going to get real freaking itchy. That's also why the baby wipes are there. And so this will help a lot, especially with your stink too. I do recommend merino wool socks. Costco actually has really good merino wool socks that are pretty close to on par with the Darn Tough socks, and they're like $4 a pair. I'm replacing like all my socks with those because it's dirt cheap, and I've been running them. I've been running several pairs about a year now and have had no complaints except for stickers stick on them really easily. But other than that though, they're great summer, winter, whatever. Help with my feet sweating and all that. All right. So this is going to be my shelter. It is the USGI poncho, as you can see with the label right there. This thing, I've read a lot of reviews. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but every single video, every single review I could find, this is lighter than the standard issue poncho, and it's about just as tough. There's people who've been making hammocks out of it, letter carries, all that kind of stuff. So I don't need to pull this out because you all know what a poncho looks like. And so this is multi-cam, of course. All right, another thing on top, Snug Pack Jungle Blanket. So I have Woobies. I am packing this one because it is lighter. You can get it more compact than a regular Woobie. I believe it is slightly smaller. And if it gets colder, it does breathe well. And if it gets colder, this actually will be a little bit warmer. Now, it doesn't get too cold here, but if it's like during winter, I would have, it depends how cold it is. I have another, this is just a placement. I have another Snug Pack sleeping bag. This is just the Battle Box sleeping bag, got a long time ago. But I mean, this and this, you can go to like 10 degrees easily, be comfortable. If that's all you have, that and a baby sack. But if I am, rather than having like a hide site or anything like that, if I have a base camp, I actually have this because I can't really find one this size. This is the Battle Box one person tent. It's like a bivy tent basically. It's only about 3 pounds. This whole thing is about 3 pounds. And I can't really find one that's around the weight or less that's not, you know, $700, $500 or whatever. And this has enough room for you to put your entire rucksack at the foot of your tent, basically. And you can be sleeping comfy in this thing. So that's if I have like a base camp or anything like that. If I'm just having a hide site, this I would not bring. All right. Oh, let me see. So this will actually go with the poncho. Okay. So these are tent poles and tent stakes. So what I have done, Corporal's Corner actually has a really good video on it. It was right when I was looking up on how to do it for this poncho specifically. He actually released a video not like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago at most. And it is the Alpha tent. So you literally go to his YouTube channel. He literally has the link for the tent stakes to get and stuff like that. These are fiberglass. They're cheap. A little bit heavy. You might be able to get aluminum, but I was trying to find online, mainly Amazon, trying to find 10-foot aluminum tent poles. And I couldn't really find it. They all come in 12 and stuff like that, and I really don't want to cut it and do the exact same thing I did. So these are 10 gauge winged, was it electrical nuts basically for wired. And so as you can see, I did that. So that way when it goes through the grommet, it catches on the grommet and it's not going to go through. And so I have 2 of these to set up the Alpha tent. And then I have these Ultralight tent stakes. So these pretty freaking light. These are Walmart for like $1 and some change a piece. I got about 6 of them. Super light. I mean, I think they're like a few grams a piece. I got about 6 of them there. So that way I can, if I need to, I can do 2 to 4 corners on here. I also have in there a, let me get to that actually in a second. Let me put this away. But yeah, alpha tent, super sweet, super minimal, super light compared to a tent. And multi-use, because I got a poncho. I don't have to use the alpha tent, I can just use the poncho for whatever. All right, let me get to this. Yes, so this is an ultralight. I call it ultralight. It's pretty ultralight. It's about 6 ounces. It's a tent footprint. I think it's like, what was it, like 9x5 or something like that. And you can use this, of course, as another tarp. But this is good to go on the bottom of my alpha tent. So that way I have a place to lay out my gear and stuff like that. I'm not just in the dirt. I'm off the dirt, you know, bugs, all that good stuff. If it rains, that's going to be great compared to just being in the mud and all that stuff. Another part of this, I have several parts. So 550 cord, of course, daisy chained. I have 2 30-foot and 5 10-foot pieces. So daisy chain. And then that's to, you know, if I need to tie down anything, tie corners of my alpha tent, or what I'll get to in a minute, I actually have a camo net as well. So that's part of that for shelter and all that good stuff. All right, this is only like maybe 2 ounces. It's honestly a blow-up pillow. You know, it's one of my bougie items that I like to have because it helps you not get migraines, headaches like I get a lot. But fantastic little thing. Maybe, was it 2 ounces I think it weighs? And honestly, throwing that in, it can make a big old difference rather than trying to lay on a rock or some crap like that, rolling up your jacket, anything like that. All right, so that's part of my shelter system right there. And then, okay, so Texas, a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of spiders and tarantulas. So in here, this is only a few ounces. This is a mosquito net. I can attach it to the middle of, oh, there we go, to the middle of my alpha tent, drape it down. That way nothing's crawling on me. I'm not getting bit up by mosquitoes or anything like that. Super simple. I think this one came in a battle box as well. I don't remember the brand or anything like that. So, but I mean, you can get them cheap on Amazon. They're like 10, 20 bucks. And that's it for that. Let me pull this out. This is on the bottom of my pack. But this, I need to get a new one because the seal's not working well. But I do recommend, this is C-Line, really good pack. It's a one-way valve. Well, it's supposed to be one-way, but this one's leaking. But one-way valve, so that way you compress it, as you can see. Let me compress it more. There we go. It's supposed to be one-way valve, so it just sucks. It's like a vacuum bag, basically, but you don't need a vacuum or anything like that. You can just compress it when you open it when you're done. So this is I got this on Amazon, actually pretty cheap. A 10-foot camo netting for my hide site or putting over my alpha tent to hide it and stuff like that. Super lightweight. It's just under 2 pounds, so it's not too heavy, but concealment in that instance is actually very important. I can just throw this over. You can also cut this up if you need to, if you need it smaller. It's backed by, what they call it, rope or string or something like that, or netting, that's what it is. Backed by netting, so you can cut it with no issues or anything like that. It won't mess with anything else. They actually recommend cutting it to size, whatever you need, but 10 feet, lay it over, break up silhouette, break up my hide site or my alpha tent, whatever. Easy peasy. Throw all this stuff down. Alrighty, so I got these bags. Let me see if there's anything else. E-tool. I mean, everyone knows what an E-tool is. Yeah, digging trenches, digging your hide site, whatever. So that way you're lower profile to the ground pretty much. And yeah, nothing special about it. If you need to build a trench around your base camp or anything like that, so that way rainwater doesn't drown you out, there you go. All right, let's start with medical. Red bag, medical. So in here, I have a North American Rescue fully fitted IFAC, tourniquet, everything, chest seal, gauze, Israeli bandage, all that. I got some shears on it as well. Extra medical, I always have at least one other medical on my kit, on my person itself, just in case. But I mean, It's an IFAC. You literally can't have more than enough. I got one on my belt. I got a tourniquet on my chest rig, and then here's another right here in my pack. And then it's a boo-boo kit. So this thing, I didn't add anything to this. It's all Band-Aids, ointments, stuff like that. I did take out the tongue depressors. I did add anti-diarrheal pills, because those, if you're having diarrhea out, that's mission over immediately as soon as you have it. You're going to be dehydrated, and you may not be able to make the other trip back. So this thing, Walmart, it was like $10, something like that. Super cheap. Bandages, topicals, wound dressings. Let me open up and show you what, or read off what's in it. Antibiotic ointments, tape, alcohol pads, antiseptic pads, which are good for sanitizing your hands after you use the restroom. If you have to use your e-tool and your whatchamacallit, little butt wipes, butterflies, regular bandages of all different sizes, cotton swabs. This is the second one that's set up for anti-diarrheal. And let me see. Okay, so this one doesn't have like ibuprofen or antihistamines or anything like that. So you can get bigger packs with that and just cannibalize them and put them smaller. But I mean, goes to that size compared to this size, big old hard case. Like I said, I took out the cold pack, tongue depressor, stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna put this back and grab the next bag. Try to keep everything you can in dry sacks, just in case it rains. You may not be able to put your poncho over your stuff, or if you do, there's no telling if water gets in there or not. Plus, it keeps it neatly organized. Red, medical, that's universal. All right, water now. Blue pack, water. I did forget to put these in, which I will grab now and put them in before I forget. These are portable aqua, so has instructions on it on how to use, blah, blah, blah. 2 tablets for 1 quart, which a quart is 32 ounces in case you don't know. So literally instructions on the bottle. And then it has an extra one, which you can take or not. It's an ounce. It's up to you, but it takes away the iodine taste. Is that correct? Yes, I believe this one, yep, removes iodine taste and color after water's been treated. All right, this one's pretty simple. I have 2 ways of doing water, well, 3 ways technically. So a water drop, this is 1.5 gallons, which is about 5.5 liters. This is a gravity filter system. So what's great about this one, opens up on the top. So if you need water source, you can literally dump this in, boom, roll it, seal it, good to go, waterproof. And that way, if nothing's hooked up, it ain't gonna leak. So that way you don't have to hook up your hose immediately. And it has a little gusset, so that way you can lay flat or stand up a little bit. Also D-rings, so that way you can hang it too. So like I would plan on hanging it on my pack while I'm moving in order to gravity feed, or if it's a base camp, hang it from a tree with that 550 or whatever you want to do with that. So, and here I have the hose that attaches to. That is advertised as a gravity filter bag, so that way, just so you know. So it doesn't come with like a mouthpiece or anything like that. There's a little nozzle to connect it. It has a little stopper right here that you can just squeeze and it'll cut off the circulation, I guess, you want to see of the water. Then I have a Sawyer filter. They're cheap. They last, what is it, I think 100,000 gallons. Just make sure you don't get too much sediment in your bag, otherwise you gotta back flush it, all that good stuff. And if it's going too slow, I can literally just squeeze the bag slowly and then it will release it a little bit faster. Got the original Nalgene, lid in case I want to get rid of the tube and I want to just carry the water bottle with me or whatever around camp, so I'm not just drinking out of the tube the whole time. It's not always fun. And then there's extra attachments to the source thing. These things come in a 1/2 ounce with both of them, so that way I just threw them in. They get attached to regular water bottles pretty much, so that way like your, what's the popular one? Like the Life bottles, Smart bottles, stuff like that, literally attach it Same system, the hose goes in, you can drink from the bottle. Through the hose if you wish. Doesn't hurt to add that, so that's what I got in there. Let me throw this back in real quick. I'll get to the food. Again, this is everything that's in the pack. That's not in the, like my chest rig or anything like that, or in my pockets or anything like that. I would have more stuff in my pockets and in my chest rig and stuff like that, like, you know, another tourniquet, multi-tool, another canteen, by the way. So I don't just have the Nalgene, I have another canteen on my chest rig itself. More food, stuff like that. Oh, forgot to put this in. The chest rig video, or the chest rig is gonna be another video that I would do. So that way I can do a breakdown of what's in my chest rig for recon purposes and stuff like that. All right, food. This one's the largest, but probably heaviest bag besides the canopy thing. That's what those other two tent poles are, by the way, too, for the netting. So that way, if I want to, I can put like an awning or something like that on my site. All right, this one's yellow. I prefer green, but I didn't have it. So in here I have 3 Mountain House meals because they're light and they don't take much water to make. Let's see, this one's 13 ounces of water. This one's 12 ounces, so that's what, 25 ounces. And then the third one is 13 ounces, so 25, 38 ounces, almost an entire Nalgene to make 3 meals. That's not bad. Plus, you gotta think, you're not wasting water if you're putting it in your meal. You're still ingesting that water when you go to eat that meal. So the people that are like, oh, you know, you're losing all this water that you're in your food. No, you're literally ingesting that food regardless. Or ingesting that water regardless. It's just in the meal. Now, if you're boiling stuff, yeah, you're going to lose a few ounces here and there. But I mean, with freeze-dried meals, you're not going to. Not all my stuff is freeze-dried. It's just these ones right here. And you can cold soak these. I don't know if you heard those. A lot of backpackers do cold soaking. So, basically, if you don't want to put fire or anything like that in there, or light a fire or use a stove or anything like that, you add water, the amount of water in there, and you just let it sit for like an hour or so, and then everything should be rehydrated. Kind of move it around a little bit and stuff like that. So this is like my lickies and chewies type deal. So beef sticks, granola bars. Let me open up a little bit. So these protein bars, they're called Anabar. You can get them at the store. Fruity Pebbles is my favorite. This is the best tasting protein bar I've ever come across. It's 280 calories, you know. Protein bars are delicious. They're the best tasting protein bars I've ever had. I've had probably at least 50 different kinds. I've had pretty much all the ones you can find at the store shelf at one point or another. This one was my favorite. Basically Fruity Pebbles. And there is no nasty aftertaste. It is just straight delicious. 280 calories. Beef stick for protein. Fruit snacks, of course. Trail mix. And then there is these New Millennium energy bars. I've not tried these, I won't lie. But I've heard that they don't taste too bad. They're 410 calories in a 84-gram bar, which is a few ounces. And these are, I believe these are Lifeguard approved, or not Lifeguard. What's it called? Coast Guard approved or whatever it's called. Where these can stay for years on a boat and be perfectly safe to eat. Pretty much like freeze-dried food. And you don't need any water or anything like that. You also have frog fuel. Now, this, easy way to get some vitamins, energy, stuff like that. Like this whole pack is 72 calories, which is much. But 10 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein, and caffeine in these. So that way you are good to go. I personally stopped drinking caffeine except for occasionally. So I'm a lot more sensitive. So if I have these in a day, I'm going to be up all freaking night. And so that might be perfect for my situation. Or if I am groggy in the middle of you know, doing my recon at my little hide site or whatever, that is just perfect. I just drink one of those, within 30 minutes, I'm just awake. All right, lickies and chewies over. Now, camping pot. So this is a titanium camping pot, Tokes. Fuel's going to be in here as well. It comes out to 3 ounces for just the pot itself. Super lightweight. I got my stove in here. I got my fuel. So the stove, you can find these for cheap. This is Summit's Point portable stove. You don't need anything super extravagant or anything like that. I also have an adapter so I can hook it to the Coleman's propane tanks, but I mean, my fuel can fits in here, so. But I mean, simple little thing. It has its own little lighter on it. Now, if you hear that little spark, and then goes right in this little box right here. And that fits perfectly. The fuel in this fits perfectly in my little pot. So that way, boop, boop, boop. And then this cozy right here, or not cozy, but it's a little mesh thing, keeps it, because the lid does not stay. It will fall right off easily. I mean, you can Ranger Band it or whatever you want, but I mean, this is pretty small, so I mean, we're pretty lightweight. All right, so I don't have a titanium spoon or anything like that, but it's this Gerber utensil, like camping utensil. I don't remember the name of it. I got it as a gift from my wife. But, like, on the back, you need all of the pieces in order for it to fit together, otherwise it's going to fall apart. So this is a little can opener, bottle opener, vegetable peeler as well, which is kind of cool. So if you decide to, you know, actually cook in the pot, then you can, you know, potatoes, all that good stuff. Spatula for stirring. You know, there's a little serrated side right there, so you can cut up some meats and stuff like that. If you don't overcook it. Spoon, spork. But what's cool about this stuff is it all slides in this thing. Well, it also does that, so you can have little tongs. See? Little tongs. Or say you need a longer spoon, because these mountain house meals are pretty short, so you can get the spoon in there pretty good. But say you want to go all the way to the bottom, you want to get all over your hands and stuff like that. Well, guess what? How did I do this? Nope. Ah, there we go. Locks in like that. And you got a freaking long little spoon. There you go. So that way you don't have to reach your hand all the way in there and get all over your hands and then have to worry about cleaning your hands and all that stuff. So, yep. Put this back. These pretty much stack all together. Spoons on top, little thing on the bottom. And they all fit like so. Let's push it down. There you go. And all a little compact. And it's super lightweight. And let's see what I got here. Oh. So I have my lighter right here, just in case if the sparkler doesn't work or for some reason we need to start a fire for whatever reason. This is the Etchotac. It is a waterproof case for a Bic lighter. I took the little metal. I do recommend taking the little metal protector off of these because if you're wearing gloves and stuff like that, it makes it really difficult to try to catch the thing to light. It has a little tab right here, so that way, say you're holding this under something for a very long time, it's a little rubber piece. You can put it over the little gas button. I don't know what it's called. And it'll actually keep it light, so that way, let me show you. So say I wanted to keep something this light. If I can get this over. Come on. I've used this before, but it's been a while. There we go. I fell off. Anyways, you get the idea. It would be this equivalent of you holding your thumb right there, but you can just hold it from the bottom because it goes over it and holds itself. Waterproof, so that way you don't worry about nothing leaking out. You don't have to worry about nothing, no water getting in or ruining the lighter. A little cheap. Is this Gerber? No, Smith's. A little cheap Smith's knife sharpener. Nothing special. And then a roll of Gorilla Tape. Because I used to use duct tape a lot. Gorilla Tape is so much better and so much more resistant to tearing, or I don't know if you ever try to take tape off of something but it'll tend to, like, especially the military duct tape, it tends to roll up, get all sticky and stuff like that. This isn't as bad, and it is super, super tough. Like, you're not really gonna break this. And that's it in my little food / little camping bag. So next video is gonna be on my chest rig and stuff like that. I also am currently in the works of making a sustainment chest rig that I think, personally, me and another person have worked on it so far. I've had ideas about 6 months. I think we spent about 20 hours just putting all the details and the measurements of everything and stuff. And I'm not gonna say it's gonna revolutionize chest rigs and stuff, but I think it's going to make the big companies step up their game pretty big. Because this does a lot of stuff that they don't do, and it's pretty simple if you think about it. And is that it? Yep. So that is it on my rucksack for my recon loadout. So if you have any advice, any tips, any questions, stuff like that, go ahead and let me know. And again, it is 25 pounds. That's without water. The food's already in there. That food's enough to last me 2-3 days. 3 days if I stretch it, 2 days comfortably. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of thought process went into this. Just go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys think. Toodaloo!